Hi, and welcome to another episode of Honest AF Show with me, Daniela Clark. I almost said me, Barbara Ann Wild.
And me, Barbara Ann Wild.
I'm sorry. I'm way morphing into you right now. I'm like jumping into your body. Hello, Miss Barbara Ann Wild.
Hello.
Okay, so check us out.
I love
Recognize
it.
it?
It's so good.
Doesn't it look just like him?
It does. It's fantastic.
I just helped Gilby redo his merch.
Yeah, it's killer.
Gilby hasn't redone his merch in a really long time, and so I helped him redo it. And I took a picture of his motorcycle, a picture of him, and a picture of his guitar. Sent it to the artist.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Had him.
They did a great job.
It looks just like him, right?
It looks so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited about it, and they're super soft.
Yeah, the blanks are amazing. I think that Zach's merch company needs to get on board with them.
Yeah, really, really good. I'll tell you the details of all of it, but it was great. My voice is driving me crazy. You know, we were both sick about 6 weeks ago.
COVID again.
Yes. And I mean, and that was like...
Did you see the news too? The new strain of COVID comes with a new symptom, an excruciating sore throat that feels like you're swallowing razor blades. I'm like, it's exactly what I have. Yeah, you as well. And my boys.
That was us. It was really terrible.
The sore throat is horrific.
Horrific. And it would not stop. No. It was relentless for like a week.
You still have a cough.
And I still have a cough. It's been like 6 weeks and I have a cough. And
I never did get the cough.
And I'm still congested. And
Are you?
Yeah, I'm still congested.
No.
I have like major pressure like behind my eye. My ear feels congested. Everything still feels congested.
You did take an antibiotic too, right?
I took
you got
an
a secondary
antibiotic and I took a steroid. I took a really high dose of antibiotic and steroids, and it helped me feel better, but I cannot shake the stupid...
Wow.
Like I have constant postnasal drips, so my throat is constantly irritated.
Oh, that's
I have to call my doctor today after we record to find out if there's anything else I can do to stop this. It's driving me crazy. It almost feels asthmatic too. Like it feels like I've gotten...
like you're gonna like it sounds like that.
Every time I take a deep breath, I want to cough. So it's...
I hope your lungs are okay.
Yeah, it's really annoying. But so excuse me, I'm so sorry. I keep clearing my throat and coughing and hacking and it's so annoying. But
I'll bring you that throat mist.
And for someone who hates all these kind of sounds,
is it okay when you do it?
No. I annoy myself, which is the beauty of it all, is I actually annoy myself too. It's absolutely horrible.
I have to tell you something funny. So Zach and I were in Oregon for 2 weeks, and it was the longest stretch that we've had in our house, new house, since we moved in November, and we love it so much. But there's a couple, actually I've only ventured into a couple. I'm sure there's loads and loads of incredible shops for the home there.
Yeah.
And this one, Ginger Roots, I have to give a shout out to them because they have the most incredibly cool things. Everything in there I just want to put in the house. I love it. And it's very funny because I've edited myself every time I think of something that would be unacceptable for your misophonia. Because I'm like, she can't have repeating patterns.
Yeah.
She can't have things. And I'm like, oh shit, this one thing that I got, because we're not there enough to have plants constantly. Hey, by the way, you know those little French bulldog little
the planters?
The little
that you got
planters
for my birthday?
They're still alive and bloomed everywhere.
They were really, so cute.
The little baby roses. They love it. But
so
I can't keep most plants because I'm not there enough to keep them watered. And so I did buy some really killer fake stems to put in, and it's like circular. And I was thinking, I'm going to have to hide these before Daniela gets up to the house.
Oh my God. There's, every day when I get home from work, Gilby and I take the dogs for a walk through the neighborhood. And there is a house down the street that is such an offender of my senses. I can't even tell you.
Now, what is it called? The
trypophobia.
Trypophobia. Okay.
So it is so awful because that is a hatred of clusters. Anything that's clustered or repetitive in its pattern drives me bananas. It like scrambles my brain. Like I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. So we walked past this house, and the other day I saw that they planted some new, whatever it is. It is so offensive. I don't even know what to do about it. First of all, it's succulents. And
they tend to have that.
And they're all clustered together and all this stuff all over them. And then there's a separate one that's hairy. It's got like fuzz all over it. And I walk by it and I'm just like, oh my God, I really hate the way that looks. And Gilby's like, Daniela, you've got some serious problems. And I'm like, I know, but you act like I can control it. I can't control it.
No.
Yes, I have neurological issues and certain things are horrible for me to look at and to hear. And I'm sorry, I'm such a wreck, but it triggers me.
Is it anything specific? Like, is it any specific shape or is it?
Yes, round shapes.
Round.
Like anything that looks like barnacles or
I have bad news.
or warts or like clusters of things. Like I just can't handle it. Like, those pumpkins around Halloween time that they put out on display that have bumps all over them. I'm like getting itchy just thinking about it. I can't even handle it. It does something to my brain, and while it's so comical to you, my brain gets scrambled.
Sorry. I'm not being empathetic to your pain.
I know everybody laughs at me. Don't worry, it's not just you. Gilby and Frankie.
I've always got your back, but I'm
Gilby
gonna have
sometimes
to run
does
around my
things
house
to me
before
deliberately.
I'm going to have to literally get up there a day before you come so
to
that I
edit.
could, yes.
Put everything in the closet.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I already edit my voice.
It's such a terrible thing.
Say.
It's so terrible. And speaking of which, because one of the things that
and
drives
what is
me
it
crazy,
called? Wait a minute. Excuse me. The other thing that you have that you don't like
misophonia.
people going through pocketbook. Or
It's
like,
part of my misophonia.
oh, it's misophonia. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay.
The misophonia is
I
a
didn't
whole
know if
other
there was
issue.
a third.
I mean, I know I look perfect, but I'm not. Just kidding. I know I don't look perfect either.
Zach's gonna add that now to his repertoire of Daniela-isms.
Oh my God.
He has certain Daniela-isms that from the minute they've came out of your mouth, he repeats them and he's just like, that was
funny.
so classic when she did that. Or how about when Daniela said this? I'm like, he is holding on, and that's going to be a new one. I could just hear it.
Oh my God. So speaking of my misophonia, I have to prepare myself because I'm going this weekend to go visit my mom. And my mom sets me off because my mom is like a golden girl. She doesn't go anywhere without her purse.
Oh.
She her purse, she carries that purse around to the bathroom. I go, Mom, what is going to happen with your purse in the bathroom?
But your mother did grow up she did live in a city. I think a lot of city people have that, it's just they're preconditioned to lock doors and to take their purse and I kind of get that sometimes. I have this thing with Randy all the time because she now moved to Hollywood and she thinks she could just go around and leave her door unlocked.
Oh, no.
I'm like, excuse me.
No. You can't do that in a good neighborhood.
She does it up at my mountain and she goes, who's going to bother me up here? I go, you might have a bear sitting in your car when you get back. Lock your damn doors.
Yeah, lock your doors.
Take your purse to the bathroom. I'm with your mom. I'm sorry.
My mom carries her purse everywhere, but that's not the biggest problem. The problem, I asked my mom once, I go, Mom, why do you take your purse into the bathroom? Why does the purse have to go from the kitchen to the living room? Why does it have to travel all over the house with you? Put it down already. Drives me crazy. She's like, why does that drive you crazy? And that... And I go, because I feel like you live in your purse. My mom takes her purse, opens it up, and while you're talking to her, she's constantly digging in her purse. You know how we're always scrolling on our phones? My mom's always digging in her purse.
Your mom would have probably won Let's Make a Deal. Remember that show?
Seriously, she has everything in there.
That show.
Oh, I used to love that show
was the
too.
greatest thing. My mother used to say to me, now see, this is why you have to have certain things in your purse. If you were on that show, you'd win.
Yeah. I used to love Let's Make a Deal. The Price is Right.
Do you watch the Game Channel?
Sometimes, very rarely.
It's the greatest thing in the world. I've been watching Family Feud so much lately, and now Zach's watching it with me, and we just die.
Oh my God, the Family Feud ones are hilarious. And there's one, there is, sometimes on Instagram, there's some account, I forgot what it's called, maybe it's like Vintage Archives or something like that, and they show old clips from the Family Feud
and the Newlywed Game. Oh
and the Newlywed Game and all that. And they're hilarious. The one they showed one the other day where they asked the wife, what is the most unusual place that you have made whoopee?
Yeah.
And she thinks about it for a second and she goes, my ass.
In her butt.
Yeah, in her butt. And he's like, no, I meant a location.
But when the camera pans on him, his facial expressions, the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, he's hilarious. But, oh my God, they just don't make TV the way they used to. And I know I sound like my parent, but like I sound like my mom right now or my dad, but they don't. Like
because they used to take time for the edits. You get those few seconds of their, like, they'd go to what's his name from the Tonight Show, Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And just pan on him.
Yeah.
And the expression on his face was
priceless.
Just that was all part of the show.
That's what made
now
it so
that's
funny.
All these quick clips and it's like you don't get that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's all sound bites. And
but God, I used to love like all the television that we used to watch, like Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, The Golden Girls, like
Three's Company.
Three's Company, yep. And then
oh my gosh, we need to talk about that actually, Three's Company. But let's get back to your mother and her purse everywhere.
Oh no, so I'm going to see my mom this weekend, so I'm prepping myself for my madness.
But why does it bother you that she takes her purse everywhere?
It just because she lives in her purse, I feel.
Oh, that's
because she's always digging through her purse. It feels like fidgeting to me, and the fidgeting is what sets me off.
Yeah, no fidget zone.
Like just sit still, stop fidgeting. You know, people that like are constantly fidgeting, and it distracts my brain because I think I have a little bit of ADHD.
I think we all do.
I might have a lot of it, and so everything distracts me because I'm like, I have the attention span of a fly.
I know. I think in all fairness to you, you're very visual.
Yeah, I am.
So if someone's doing something distracting that's going to pull your eyes in another direction, then it kind of
I'm already checking out the hair, the makeup, the clothing, the shoes.
That's what I'm saying. You're very
looking
visual.
at everything.
You're walking down the street and you're seeing sets.
Yeah.
So let's be a little fair to you.
A little bit. But I am definitely a little crazy.
So Three's Company.
Three's Company.
So our beloved Suzanne Summers passed away.
Yes.
And I don't think it's been a year yet. Maybe it's a year.
I think it's been longer.
Longer than a year?
Yeah, let's look it up while you're talking. You explain your story and I will look.
Her husband of 60 years who was obsessed is dating.
Of course.
A co-star of hers.
She passed October 15th, 2023.
Okay, so it's not
almost
quite
2 years.
2 years yet.
Almost 2 years. Okay.
What do you think about that?
That he's dating already?
And one of her co-stars, someone she worked with.
I know. Okay, let me
I know our husbands are never doing that, but
we know. but let me tell you.
I can promise you I'll never date Gilby.
No.
God knows. Zach will never be launched on any of my friends.
Zach and I would combust. There would be like
you guys are very
an explosion,
some
kind of like
ways.
Combustion. It just would never.
All we'd have to do is distract both of you, and we'd be fine.
Yeah, we'd both be running in opposite directions. No. Besides the fact that you're like a sister to me.
Right.
But
although my sisters have my one sister dated Zach.
Stop it.
Before me.
Stop it.
Before me.
No.
I'm the guilty one.
Wait. Stop the presses right now. We have to go back to that. Did she sleep with him?
No.
Okay.
She made out with him.
She just made out with him.
I've been with Zach since I'm 16 years old. So it was before the, dating meant that.
Yeah.
Implicitly.
Okay, that I remember now. I do remember you telling us that before. Yes, I remember now.
Yes,
okay.
My sister Cheryl.
Okay, well, as long as she didn't sleep with him, that's okay,
no.
I guess. But weird, huh?
But it was so funny. I was dating the bass player that was in his band, and my sister was dating Zach. And Zach and I were best friends. We were just total BFFs. And it was very funny because Zach said to me one day, I hope you didn't really like Donnie too much. And I was like, why? And he goes, because I broke up with him for you. And I was like, what? He goes, well, because if you ever got to a point where you slept with him, then I couldn't marry you. And I planning on marrying you. I go, I don't even like you. Like, what are you doing? He broke up with him for me. And I was like, well, maybe you could stop kissing my sister. And then, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up together.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he told me he was marrying me, broke up with the bass player. And it's like, okay, what bass have you gotten to? Great. You're no longer seeing her because if you sleep with her, then I can't marry her and I'm going to marry her.
Yeah.
And he did. So
unreal.
Very
That's
funny.
Zach. Well, he knew what he wanted. So, okay. So going back to Suzanne Summers' husband.
Yes.
Here's my thoughts on it. It's been almost 2 years. And the man is up there in age. How long is he supposed to wait? Till he's dead?
Okay.
I mean,
but for that reason,
older.
I'm saying, why do you have to date at your age? You had it already. You're done.
Well, because companionship. He's lonely. He probably they did everything together. You need a companion, if that's what you want.
But they don't have to call it dating.
What are they supposed to call it?
Be a companion. Go to the movies together. You don't have to kiss. You don't have to date. You don't have to be romantic.
I mean, I know it's hard but we talked about this on our last of our episodes.
This is not happening ever for my husband.
Remember we talked about this, about dating after you lose your spouse.
Up his ass. It's not happening.
Zach, you're getting lightning bolts up your ass.
He already knows it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this point in his life, he should be happy and he should have someone to spend his time with. I
don't want Zach to be happy.
When I'm dead. Miserable. I know. I want Gilby to be miserable too.
I'm not on board with this.
Yeah. I know.
I took offense to it. When I saw it online all day yesterday, I was like, no. She was the love of your life. You guys were inseparable.
You had it. It's enough. Stop being greedy.
It's right.
That's your theory.
And you have to take Viagra in order to do something at this
Barb,
age.
I can't believe you brought that up. Okay, so listen to this.
No, but so he can't go past the companionship situation without taking extraordinary measures, for sure.
For sure.
So therefore, it's very intentional. I'm not on board with it. I'm upset. But go ahead.
Well, speaking of all that, Candace Bushnell. Have you seen the new article she just wrote?
No, but I've been seeing her name come up a lot, so I figured.
She just wrote an article. So she obviously is very famous for Sex and the City. That is like her big claim to fame. She wrote an article and it's titled, okay, wait. Oh, don't butcher it. Don't butcher it, Daniela.
Look it up.
I think it's called, instead of Sex in the City, it's Sex at 60.
Okay.
In Sag Harbor. And I don't know if a pun is intended in that or not.
I'm sure part of it is.
Sag Harbor. Wait, I got to look it up because I think that's what it's called and I don't want to butcher it. Candace.
Did you read it?
I did.
Oh.
And
do tell.
And it's okay. So where I was going with it was she wrote this article and it's called Sex After 60. God, I can't speak.
You got close.
Sex After 60 in Sag Harbor.
Yeah.
And I think she means Sag Harbor. So what she talks about is that she did this article and she talks to a couple different women and herself as well, that dating now after, you've been married or widowed or whatever is really, really difficult because the men our age, or I'm not 60 yet, but the men in that age range are all microdosing Viagra and therefore are also seeking younger women because a lot of women of that age that are either not taking HRTs or have just kind of closed up shop. They have just closed up shop. And so she talks about, going out with these men and going on a few dates with them, and how women of that stature are getting ghosted.
Oh,
And because the men are going with younger women, and they'll go to dinner and have these great dates with these men,
right.
4 or 5 dates, and then they just get ghosted when it comes time for the sexual part.
Wow.
Very interesting. But she talked about um, how uh, how it's kind of sucks because women are still frowned upon to date men that are 30 years younger than them in
True.
in those in that age group. For a woman to walk in with a man that's you know 20, 30 years younger than
Right.
her, it's still, you kind of looked at funny. But for men,
Oh,
it's
it's nothing.
so normal. It's the
Right.
norm.
Right.
And she was saying that there are women also tend to be attracted to men that are younger than them as well.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, you are attracted to what you were attracted to a long time ago. Still,
Right.
you still think certain guys are
Totally.
good looking, but they were saying that the exception to this is if you've been married to someone a long time and you were married to them and remember them as they were,
Right.
and you age with them, it kind of, you don't kind of see it, that you
That's
still
interesting.
attracted to
I
them.
mean, in all fairness to what I just said, I have two really good friends, a man and a woman, who were both widowers,
Widows.
young.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that they're going to date at some point.
Yeah.
One, it's only been 6 months, so I don't think he's going to for a while. My girlfriend just hit upon a 2-year anniversary of her husband's passing, who was the love of her life, and they were together for, almost 30 years and raised 2 children together and everything. I think it's great that they're going to date. But Alan, I took a bit I took that
You took it
personally
personally.
because they were together
Yeah.
forever and
Yeah.
he is, 80 something years old.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, wait a minute. If he was in his 50s or 60s, I could see. But 80, like, come on, just.
I feel differently about it. I feel like, you know what? Let him have his fun.
But this whole subject matter is interesting because I've said it before. If something happened to Zach tomorrow, now he can't date ever again, but I would date younger guys, but they would have to
Yeah.
be at least as old as my son Jesse, my oldest son. So now Jesse's already going to be 32 in August. So it's like, it's going to be 32 years younger that I could go. So it's really going to kind of throwing a wrench in it that he keeps getting older.
Well, one of the things in the article was about the fact that most men that age already have erectile dysfunction. They all suffer from ED. They have,
There's no way any of them are being romantic without a little help.
Yeah. Yeah. They're getting
Alan
a little help.
isn't.
Yeah.
He for
he's
sure.
definitely getting a little help for sure. But yeah, it was really interesting because she was kind of just like, they're getting help, and it just sucks because now they're not interested in
they're
us.
starting to develop more and more things for women.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully
You know what I think though? And no one really talks about this, but I think that it's not just the desire to have sex that weans off as you get older and you have lots of hormones in both men and women. It's not just the desire. It's not just, getting something for low libido. But I think another big part of it is stamina, is the energy level that it takes to partake in something like that.
just reminded
as you
me
get older also wanes. So having something, and that's where I think testosterone comes in, because when you're low in testosterone, you don't have energy, and then you don't have the thought of having to partake in a sexual act is also exhausting.
Well, it's very
so
funny
I think they both go hand in hand.
Years and years ago, you and I read an article. I think it was even before we did the podcast, and we were talking, and Sting and Trudy were talking about their 6-hour tantric yoga sex.
It was more than that. Wasn't it?
It was like hours.
Crazy.
And
it was
you
days,
said, this
days.
is another Zach's Daniela-ism, because I was talking to Zach about it afterward, and you had said, oh, that sounds awful.
It does.
And I died
laughing
Who
because have sex that long?
Nothing sounds worse to me than sex that's going to last longer than 15 or 20 minutes these days.
Yes.
That's just a chore.
Oh, God.
We have enough chores.
Yes. It's a fate worse than death. My God.
And that's another thing that those damn drugs do with men.
Yes.
It makes them last
long. So hence, that's why they need a younger girl.
The only silver lining is it has been known to give them hearing loss issues and the vocal cords. So it's like, you don't really want to keep hitting that because you might lose your ability to sing or you're not going to be hearing so well.
Oh my God.
Like the only thing to dissuade them.
I read another article about, or no, I didn't read. I saw a doctor talking about this on Instagram, or a video, and she was saying that there is some studies now that show that dementia and Alzheimer's are more prevalent in women and men that experience hearing loss.
Interesting.
And they said that the reason for that is that, and it's a big number. It's like 45%.
Wow.
And they said that you can reverse that statistic if you get help for your hearing loss.
Oh.
And the reason for that is because when people tend to lose their hearing, when people lose their hearing as they age, a lot of people lose their hearing from loud music, or, like our husbands, genetically, or just from getting older. And what happens at that point is you kind of start to get quieter. And you start to become more insular because you don't hear as much, and it's kind of annoying and embarrassing. And so you just don't even, it's not sexy, so you don't say anything.
Right.
So you stop people start to slow down on communicating with other people, and it gives your brain less activity. And since your brain is an organ, it needs to be stimulated. And it needs the communication and the stimulation. So when you stop listening to music or watching TV and only reading subtitles, and stop communicating with people or talking on the phone or anything because you can't hear them, you're depleting your brain from the stimulation that it needs.
Wow.
And you're going to be 45% more likely to develop dementia or Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So it's really important that you see to your hearing loss and go and get whatever treatment you can get to help with that.
Right.
I found that fascinating. I told Gilby that.
I don't use it all the time, but I did get, I did not like the hearing aids that I was fitted for. I did not like the way I heard myself echo. Mm-hmm. It was very loud in my head, and it was actually triggering. It was just awful. But I did get the Pro AirPods, and I did the whole hearing test. That it's amazing, the technology of the new AirPods Pro.
Yeah.
And they have this whole feature that give you hearing tests. It even has you use the camera, and you have to give them the different angles of your ear. It could see your ear canal, so that it tells you when you fit them properly for hearing enrichment.
Yeah.
And I love them. They don't do the echo thing because they don't really have it. I don't know if it's because the mic is on your phone and it's a distance away from the AirPod. I don't know why it's not the same, but it's amazing. I could keep one in and have conversations, and usually I say, my son Hendrix, his voice is the exact register that I've lost. And when I have it in, I don't have to be in front of him for him to speak to me. I can actually hear him, even if he's leaving the room.
The technology is
And
amazing
it's
now.
I want to say I could highly recommend them. For me personally, they've been wonderful. I don't use them all the time, but when I do use them, I find them to be really helpful.
Yeah, that's incredible. And they've been working on these hearing aids now that are just so tiny nobody sees them at all. They just either go in your ear or the back of your ear.
I know, and they're supposed to work really well. The ones that I had were I didn't care for them at all, but that was just maybe it was just something like
But I also
I need
think
to
that
get used to them.
you have to get used to them. They're like contact lenses. In the beginning, it's really hard to maneuver them and figure them out. And
Right.
it takes like a couple months before you adjust and you figure out where it works for you.
Right.
So I think you just have to
think
stay
it's a great
with
thing
it.
to get it sourced,
Yeah.
especially for the people that love you, because it is very frustrating.
Yeah,
but
it is.
it is also really hard to have that constant echo and when you're not used to hearing every little thing.
Yes.
When you hear everything, it's very distracting.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's true. And
Yeah.
you start to hear all the white noise and it's kind of.
I mean, I feel like I can equate it to almost like your misophonia.
Yeah.
Because when I start hearing all these things, it's like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
it's hard to take.
Yeah. But I think when you stick with it, it really does kind of like you get used to it just like everything else. Like it's amazing how resilient we are.
And our bodies adapt.
They adapt. Adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Adaptable. Yeah. So that's, Dr. Danielle is in the house.
Okay. Well,
that's what I have.
I think it's very sage advice, but
yeah, but it was but anyway, the Candace Bushnell article is a fascinating read.
Yeah.
And if you like Sex in the City and you're of a certain stature now, it's very interesting. It's an interesting read.
Totally. I don't envy. I honestly, truly don't envy people that have to date when you get past a certain age. I think it would be.
Well, a lot of people choose not to. And she talks about that in the article too, that a lot of people, a lot of women have closed up shop and are just like, I'm good. I've been married. I've had the love of my life. I'm good.
I kind of feel like that's how I honestly would. I would never, and I could say never. No, I will never get married again.
Yeah.
I don't care if Brad Pitt proposed to me tomorrow. I wouldn't do it.
What about if
Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa asked? You might.
Yeah. He's too much of a playboy anyway. But I couldn't do it again. I could not train another man.
No,
I could not.
No, we've done our job.
Mine's still not completely trained.
But I think that's why you don't want him to move on after you, because you have invested so much of your life
right.
training him. You don't want anybody else benefiting from it.
It would be so nice to just, I mean, not that I want anything to happen to him, but to never have to like work around somebody else's schedule and things and the hoarding and oh no. My house would be immaculate.
I get that. But I have a couple girlfriends that have just said, that's it, I'm good. And they don't date. They don't want to have sex. They don't miss it.
I mean, when we talk to our girlfriends that are dating, the stories
are exceptional. I love the stories. Keep them coming, girls. But yeah, it's an interesting time because, some people are like, hey, I'm good to go and move on, and other people are like, yeah, I'm done.
I would be on those apps, and I would be able to just.
You just want fling after fling after fling.
I'd be swipe goodbye until I have to talk to them because to me that's the commitment.
Yeah.
When I have to have a conversation with someone, that's the commitment.
Yeah.
Sex is nothing.
Yeah.
But the conversation, oh gosh, it has to be someone worthy of my effort because otherwise I'm only texting or I never pick up the phone for anyone but you. Zach says it to me all the time. Pretend I'm Daniela. Pick up the damn phone.
You should change his ring to that so that when it rings, it says that. Oh my God. Well, so I don't have a Flix AF this week because I've been so damn busy. I haven't really been watching TV.
I've been watching your recommendation of the couples therapy.
Isn't it good?
Fascinating.
Right?
Maybe that's why I'm so bummed out about dating right now. Maybe that's why I'm against it.
I know.
Like, oh
Wouldn't
my
you
God.
Just run from any of those people? But
it's amazing what people will say to a complete stranger, like that one lesbian couple that I forget their names. I'm watching the current season, and she just flat out is like, says to her partner, her wife, "I'm not attracted to you anymore."
That's not the current season. That's an older one.
Is
but
it?
Yes, but I remember that.
I thought it was I thought it was current 3.
It's the current season's 4.
Oh, so it's season 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like mortified for her.
I know. She just told her flat out, "I'm not attracted to you."
Without any hesitation whatsoever.
How do you recover from that?
I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm not through with all this episode, so I don't know if they do, but oh my God, I'm like, that broke my heart for her.
Yeah.
That
would be a hard one. Can you imagine your partner saying that to you?
No.
I mean, I don't know if I would
That's
ever
the
be able
end
to. Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to recover from that.
No.
That would be over.
God bless that woman. I felt so, and when she starts crying, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
My heart was breaking.
Wait till you see season 4. It's off the hook. Yeah. But it's interesting because the dynamics of being a couple are so complicated, especially when you're doing life together for such a long time.
Yeah.
There's so many things that come into play, like career, where you live, kids, sex, money. It's just so much.
And you know what's so crazy about that show? It is one that I've had the opportunity to binge. I can't binge watch that.
No.
I've got to digest it.
You got to take it in.
It takes me a couple days that I'm like pissed off at the one person and I'm like, I got to think about this for a minute. Like,
yeah. It's fascinating.
It is.
And she's a very good doctor. Don't you think she's very good?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I love when she goes to her group.
And
discusses it like by a case.
Yeah.
And really, she really is that caring and loving her craft, because that's amazing.
Yeah. And I love that she does that too, that she takes...
She wants to give them the right advice, and it's fantastic.
Takes it to her colleagues and says, "What do you guys think about this?"
Yeah, because maybe they're going to suggest something that she's not seeing it that way.
Yeah. Well, the newest season is very interesting too. Yeah.
Wow.
So get through that season and then you can watch the other one.
I went right to 3 because I thought that on my television, it didn't update. That was the current season. I didn't go back 2 seasons because I wanted to be able to discuss it with you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is really...
It's very good.
I won't dare watch it with Mrs. Kravitz because he'll forget it. He'll get so invested. He's gonna have to find them on Instagram and see if they made it, because he thinks everybody needs to be to get with a partner.
Yeah, exactly. But he might do some relationship advice.
Oh yes, his couples therapy.
Yeah,
he has his own relationship therapy.
But it's very good. I think she's a really good doctor, and I really like the way she communicates with both parties. And the way she makes them, communicate, and the honesty is
what's shocking
really
to me, and obviously because she's a professional, is when she listens to them, especially when they first come to her, and she just listens. And then when she gives a response, it's what's fascinating. One of the most fascinating things to me is what her first response is. It's like she takes it all in, and then where she thinks something was pivotal in something that was said, I'm like, wow, that's what she took from that.
Yeah.
Like it's really thought-provoking and amazing, and I love it.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting because, all the dynamics that shift as a couple matures in their relationship, and even in new relationships, is so complicated.
And I love that she doesn't take sides, because
I
think that when I have witnessed many people's therapy, and I've watched other shows, or have read, the therapist always seems to side with one of the parties.
Yes.
And then the other party becomes the bad person.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're ganged up upon, and it's really turned me off.
Yes.
I don't think she does that.
Yeah.
I think she's really brilliant at being what she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's an innocent bystander who's going to give you her educated opinion based upon what she's hearing.
Yeah.
And I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, she's fantastic, because a lot of times when couples go into couples therapy, one person always needs to be validated or needs to be right.
Yes.
And
the other person gets bullied on.
Gets bullied, or it's about, you can't see how the other person feels. You only see how you feel.
Right.
And you're not putting yourself in the other person's shoes. You're just angry. You're upset. You're sad. Whatever is going on with you, and you sometimes can fail to see what your partner is going through,
Right.
and how your actions affect your partner.
Right.
And, and I love how she brings it back to both of them and says, okay, but look at what that's doing to this person.
Right.
So I think it's really very revealing and also very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Very good show.
Wow. I mean, for anyone who's going to watch it based upon your recommendation, just know it's hard to digest. It's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's very good.
It's really
and I
good.
think it's helpful.
Very.
Very.
It's like reading a really good book.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
Is it time for Barb's Bag of Tricks?
Yes. Let me see what I've got in here. Oh,
what do you have today?
I'm on another peptide. I'm on this peptide.
By the way, I sent you that on Instagram, that plastic surgeon, where I don't know if you guys listening have seen this, but
yes, and he highly recommended this.
Right. And they have plastic surgeons on, and they run by them a bunch of
products
and procedures, and they ask them to rate it from 1 to 10 whether or not it's important.
Or whether it works. Exactly.
I
love that.
Yeah, and I really like that. And one of the things that he said works really well is Botox. One of the things they said that doesn't really do much is the what do you call
face?
No, New Face works great.
One of the doctors
said gua sha.
Oh, yes.
The gua shas.
They gave it like a 3.
Yeah, he said that was an amazing. Yeah. But they said peptides were good.
One of the doctors who does beautiful face complete facelifts. He said peptides are the single most important factor for your result afterward and before. Mm-hmm. He's finding that the skin it drapes better. It's works better. And because there's a lot of things that we do that make their job a lot harder.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but a lot of them are not on board with radio frequency.
Yeah.
A lot of them say that it melts down a lot of the important bone and tissue that they need underneath there.
Yeah, I've heard that.
For the skin to do better. I kind of shy away from all of it because it's heat and it produces melasma. So I can't, I'm not really a good candidate for it anyway. But anyway, one of the things that doctor that you sent me, he was really very pro peptide, which I think they've all been. And
wait, are they anti-microcurrent facials or microcurrent?
Radio frequency.
Radio frequency.
Which is deeper than microcurrent, right?
It's deeper. Microcurrent's not.
Yeah, they're
not the same.
Saying that it erodes. I mean, I knew from years ago that when I have done filler, they're like, don't use those devices because they break down the filler. Mm-hmm. So you're going to spend all this money. Dr. Muradzaday was always saying that. Don't do anything that I'm going to get rid of if I'm going to use something with heat or a laser because it obliterates it. Yeah. It's like, counterproductive, and you spend a lot of money. Yeah. I wonder sometimes too, like even Botox, does it make that, instead of 3 to 6 months, are you getting 2 months out of it because of those things? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, this peptide, it's called Plated. It's an intense serum. It's loaded with exosomes, which our dear friend Colleen talked about.
And by the way, that plastic surgeon said it's like a 10. Really important.
He loves this product.
Yeah.
And another one did as well. This is it says Plated Intense Serum is a scientific breakthrough harnessing Renusum technology for visibly rejuvenated, youthful-looking skin. It's a potent blend of peptides and highly concentrated exosomes. Stem cells, exosomes, peptides. These are all buzzwords of really super important proven ingredients. This is a serum. As you can see, it is a very small tube, very expensive. I think this was close to $200. It's like liquid gold. But I have been using it and I love it.
And where did you buy it?
Online.
Just online. Oh, it's
a plastic surgeon's recommendation. It's platedskinscience.com.
Yeah, it's a tiny little bottle.
Yeah, and you only use a little bit, face and neck, and it is also refillable, so you don't have to pay for the packaging again the second time. But I
That's
really
great.
like it. Yeah,
That's awesome.
This is in their repertoire right now.
I got to tell you, the alloy is changing the game for me again. I love that I went back to it. It really feels like it's doing a lot of work.
I'm sad about it because for two reasons. The PT-141, the peptide that I was using for libido, which is a testosterone in a peptide nasal spray, it brought my melasma back with a vengeance. That one actually works on melanocytes. I have an appointment at 12:15. Actually, I just reminded myself, with the doctor to talk about my alternatives. Everything which works on your hormones also brings out melasma.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do I decide on my vajayjay or my face?
Well, I think that the topical stuff, I don't know that it goes into your bloodstream as much. So
I don't know, but I think if
it's supposed to stay localized.
I think
that's why it's safe.
I think when I had my doctor's appointment with Alloy, they said they were fine with me doing their orgasm topical locally, but they did not want me doing the face estrogen.
They told you not to.
They said there is a likelihood of it bringing out melasma.
Oh, bummer.
But I do know that there are other. I'm going to talk today, and I'll report back as to what
then
my other.
Choose the vajayjay.
That's my choice. That will because this now I've got to deal with. I got to do the peel again, and I've got to deal with the melasma, which it's a lifelong battle, and a good percentage of the population, women and men, it's an issue.
Yeah,
and it's all hormonally related.
Of course,
it's supposed to get better.
Everything is hormonally
when our hormones weighed. Not been the case for me.
Yeah. Wow. Did you? But you didn't. You always. You don't sit in the sun. You always have sunblock on. Yeah.
I do everything.
Yeah.
I am supposed to because it's a battle.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it sucks, Barb.
Yeah.
But your skin is gorgeous. No one can tell. Now, I just want to remind everybody that we're going to be taping in person here at Licorice Pizza in Studio City. And it's a great opportunity for us to get to meet you and
talk about things that we would love to hear what you guys want to know about.
Yeah, totally. Whatever questions you have for us or subject matters that you want to talk about, or even just have an open, honest AF conversation with you here. We would love that. And you don't have to be on camera. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so hit us up on our socials. Let us know if you'd like to come. The date is August 2nd here at Licorice Pizza in Studio City. So if you want to sign up for that, make sure you let us know. There's going to be some great gift bags, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. I think this does it for this episode of Honest AF. And make sure you check us out on all our socials, Honest AF Show across the board. Also, we have a TikTok account now and YouTube. HonestAFShow.com is our website. Till next time, you all take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. We obviously need to do a disclaimer here, so we want you to know we are not doctors or experts by any stretch of the imagination. We are just a couple of gals that are looking for magical products, procedures, and experiences And in our quest, we will share our honest as fuck opinions with you. So please make sure before you try anything we talk about that you know your own restrictions and do so at your own risk. Do not blame us for any of your issues. We're just experimenting too.